Oh, bouncy through the field. But yeah, how's she going, guys? So, whatever the hell today is. I know it's the 4th, but I have no clue. I think it's Wednesday. I don't know. I stopped caring. So, yeah. So they did kind of threaten a little bit of rain today, but we didn't get anything. It was supposed to just be like a little spit, but that spit ended up becoming nothing. So, but anyways, I took the Farm LA tire in this morning. I figured I'd probably take them, you know, I don't know, I kind of figured it'd probably take them a couple of hours, but I don't know. But he said it would probably be I don't know, I think it was cheaper this way, but he just patched my brand new tube that I bought for $30 online. So for, I don't know what the patch cost, but to have him patch the tube and to put the tire on the rim and of course put air in it, $20. So that's not bad. I honestly was thinking it would be a lot higher than that, but $20 freaking. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go that route from now on. Just fuck it. $20 really is nothing for me. Like, I'll just pay it. Because the other tube now that I have, I might try to patch that one myself at some point, but it's not going to be now, obviously. But yeah, so he patched it up and put it back together, and she's back on the tractor. Now, I don't know. I'm having a real hard time trying to find this. I'm trying to find the torque specs for those front tires, you know, for when you put the tire on, you're supposed to torque it. Those lug nuts or whatever. So, I don't know. I just straight up Googled it. Google AI, which I wish they would get rid of that. They say 90 to 95 foot-pounds of torque is what you need to torque those wheels on. And then you look at it another way, well, then they say it's a little bit, I think it's a little bit higher than that. It's like 120. And I'm sitting there kind of thinking, I don't think you can put 120 foot-pounds of torque on these little bolts. And plus, my torque wrench only goes up to 80 foot-pounds. So that's what I did. And you know what? Even with 80 foot-pounds on them, they feel pretty tight. Of course, now I'm gonna check it. I have to run it. I got to drive it around a little bit, but I think I'll see how tomorrow goes. I might maybe hook her up to the Hero, the homemade Hero, and knock down some cow pies. And of course, with AI, they don't really know how to. I mean, maybe they don't know everything either. Because you would think it'd be in my books, like all my Farm LA books that I have. You think it would talk about torque specs for these tires, and it don't. I can't fucking find it. So it just got kind of irritating. So, but yeah, it also, again, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think it depends. If your your bolts, let's say, I guess if they're brand new or very, very clean, they say that you can actually put less torque on them and they'll be fine. But if they're old and, old like these and dirty, then they say the 90 to 95 foot-pounds. But all I could get was 80 out of my torque wrench. I would have to go up. I'd have to buy the next size up for a torque wrench. Get a bigger torque wrench, which isn't that big of a deal. But I mean, it's just. I think I could buy $20,000 in tools that I think that I need, and I still am going to need more. You know. But that's the problem with our farm is. Well, nobody really ever torques wheels to spec. They just put all their manpower into it and call it good enough. So, that's what I kind of usually do too, but, you know, I'm kind of learning that I can easily over-torque shit and break it. So I'm hoping by torquing those bolts down the 80 foot-pounds that I didn't, like, over-tighten them. But I was still feeling it, though. Like, I was feeling it torquing, you know, like I wanted to make sure I wasn't like overdoing it, even though it was 80 foot-pounds. I didn't want to overdo it. Because sometimes you can just feel it in your arms that, you know, or in your brain just says, I don't know if 80 foot-pounds is, you know, or even 90 or 95 is good for those bolts, because they're not that big of a, those bolts are not really that big. So, but yeah, they got 80 foot-pounds on them, and yeah, they're pretty damn tight. So, I don't think I'm going to check them with a torque wrench. I'm just going to just feel it with my hand. Because I did it after I torqued them. I went over again with a regular, ratchet, just to see how it would feel in my hands, and it felt pretty damn tight. So, I don't know. I can't find torque spec on these fucking things. But I did go over to the other tire and I checked the torque on them because I wanted to see what they were. And it immediately went out. It maxed out 80 foot-pounds on my torque wrench. So I know it's got to be over 80. So I'm thinking the 90 to 95 is accurate, but I don't know. I'm not going to get that. So my torque wrench won't do it. I'd have to get the next size up in order to get that extra, you know. I think the next torque wrench that you can go up will be up to like 200 foot-pounds. Which, whatever, you know. So, but yeah. So I don't know, but we'll see. But at least it's back on there, and I had to try to remember how it went back on there. It really is interesting how Farmall did that, because all you have is when you slide your tire on, it bumps up against your center hub, or your center rim, whatever you want to call it, that cast iron part. And then you would put these bolts on, and then your bolts would have these like, almost like S-shaped clamps. And they have to go on a certain way too. I don't know. Some people say that that style means you can kind of adjust it for more width. But I don't really need it any wider than it is. It's like, I'm happy with the way it is. I don't know, but they can only go on a certain way. And apparently when you tighten them down, it's just like a big old clamp. As you tighten it down, it pushes the clamp, which then pushes on the rim, which then pushes the rim into the cast center. And then it stays in place, I guess. So that's kind of an interesting deal. But that's kind of how it is, I think, with the 15A62 on the back tires. They have that. It's a little bit different, but it's pretty similar. So you just tighten those wedges, or the bolts, and then it pushes the wedges up into the rim. So, but then the center cast iron rim, when you mount that to your axle shaft, it's a completely different style of wedge. It's still a wedge, but it's a completely different style. So everything's just held into place with wedges, which, I mean, I knew that anyway, but it really is kind of interesting though. Because the front tires on the 15A6 are not that way. They are literally just bolt on. but I don't know, maybe they were trying to get away with the wedges a little bit, so make it a little more simple, but they still did it on the rear. But I don't know, I'm not gonna complain. It works, it gets the job done, that's all that matters. So, but yeah, he was able to fix my old tube, or my brand new tube, I should say. He just patched it and put it back on and mounted the tire on the rim and put air in there and called the job done. So, but honestly, for 20 bucks, I don't know. Fuck it, I should just take my other tube in there and see if he can patch that son of a bitch too, and then we'll just patch it back up, and then I'll just keep it in the shop, you know, or in the storage, or in the parts building, and then if we ever need it, well then there it is, you know, I can just do a quick swap and be done. Because there's probably going to become a time when you just completely destroy it and you're not going to be able to patch it. But since this was just a tiny little hole, you know, it's much easier to patch. So, there's a spider. Little baby spider, get out of here. You're not going to move into my Blazer and stay in here. Not going to happen. So, yeah. So, if tomorrow permits perfect weather conditions and I walk to the pasture one more time, maybe we can get hooked back up to the Pooh Smoother 5000 or, you know, the homemade Harrow and finish knocking down cow pies. Oops. I locked myself in. So, maybe, just fucking maybe, we'll finally get some poo knocked down. So, and then after that, I want to, kind of want to start maybe working on see if I can get the sickle bar put on, but I don't know. So, but, yeah, so right now my uncle is checking the battery for the A. It's been out there for a month on the tractor, and I haven't done a fucking thing to it. So he's got a little 6-volt battery maintainer. He's going to leave that on and let it maintain the battery. It'll charge it up. It'll be a little slow, but, you know, even if it has to sit on there overnight, it ain't going to matter, because I'm going to come out tomorrow and you know, walk the pasture one more time and make sure there's any more fucking nails, because I can't have it. I can't afford this anymore. Look at this fucking shit. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Look at that freaking shit. Hell no. No, you got more buddies. Sorry. That'll slow it down for a week. But yeah, so he's going to do that. He'll keep an eye on it. It's just a maintainer, so he won't overcharge it. It'll just go into float mode. So, which is what my 12-volt maintainers do. Got one for the John Deere. I got one for the Blazer, but the Blazer used to be Big Reds back in the day when I had Big Red running. And then the one for the Blazer, I would bring it over to the farm and plug in the 1586 when I had those batteries in it. But those batteries are still sitting down in my basement. So, oh yeah, and I got a maintainer down in the basement for the batteries down there. But the one for the Blazer is newer. It's a newer one. Battery Tender, I think that's the brand, I don't know, but they're good, so I've had no problems with them. So the older ones are a little heavier and bulkier, and that's what I have, and they're actually pulling themselves apart, so you really got to be careful with those. But the newer ones are much nicer now. So look at that freaking drill, what a joke. So yeah. So, yeah. So I went to North Dakota. I went to the town where my John Deere dealer's at, because I got Although we just wanted to go shopping there this time because sometimes you can get even better deals than you can here. But I decided to go in the hardware over there. They got like a really giant, massive hardware store in there. Used to be a clothing store back in the day, but they said F you and left. But then this hardware bought it, and they literally have everything under the moon. Everything you can think of, they have it. So they're selling steel now too. They weren't the last time I was there, and I think I was there like 3 months ago, and they weren't selling steel. Nobody around here wants electric shit. That's the problem. Because the hardware here, Ace, that's all they would sell was the electric shit. People were complaining and saying, well, we don't want that garbage because it doesn't hold up. And, there's not enough power there. So then they decide, okay, we'll put in a steel dealer, with that. And, yeah. But, unfortunately, the one over there in North Dakota did not have my fuel. They were out. So I just bought a big gallon of True Fuel, which my saw will chew on that anyway. I don't know if it really doesn't complain. I just like steel fuel better, the Moto Mix. I'm more of a fan of that stuff, but whatever. So, it's got no problem growing. But yeah, so yeah, I got fuel. I didn't know if I was going to do it or not. I don't know. But I got a 1 quart container of semi-gloss white paint. So we can paint that board on the shop before I put my mount on for the CB antenna. Then I got 2 cans of, I got was it semi? I don't know, it was glossy black paint. So I would have gotten flat back or flat black, but somebody said that the glossy paint actually dries better and it sticks better compared to flat paint. It doesn't stick as well. It doesn't stick as well, which probably would explain why every time I use a flat based paint, it peels after a while because it's not sticking. So, and it's meant for what I'm using it for: indoor, outdoor, metal, wood, whatever, right? I just can't get it to fucking work. So I kind of just said the hell with it and just got semi-black, so we can paint the pipe black too now. So we actually are going to be kind of ahead on schedule if we can keep it this way. I'm not going to do it all like in one day, obviously, but we'll pick away at it. The other thing I got to do tonight is I got to hook up my DirecTV shit too. I haven't done that yet. So I got the device and everything. So I got to do that tonight, I think, and figure that out. So, but yeah, I just got 1 quart of the white semi-gloss. I didn't really want that, or that was a flat. But well, actually, this isn't even paint. This is primer. Because primer just by itself seems to work just fine. So I don't know how good this brand is. Well, I think it is Rust-Oleum. That's what I usually get in the spray cans, and that's what I have horrible luck with. But it might just be that the flat paint, that is not that good. So that's why I went with semi-gloss. So they have a little bit of a shine. Not that I need it, but maybe I'll have better luck with it. Maybe that shit will actually stick. But yeah, so I can actually get a lot of projects done. Maybe we'll kind of be on schedule a little bit. I think we will be now a little bit, as long as nothing else breaks. Pray to God. Pray, knock on all the wood. Just pray that everything can go as planned for once. So, but then next month, I got to get some John Deere stuff. That'll be the engine oil filter. Yeah, and then I got to get some shear pins for the snowblower. So, but yeah. Yeah, and I have these. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed them. These are the battery maintainer plugs. Every machine has one. Even the Blazer here has one. Because I plug it in. Keep it plugged in all the time in the winter months. In the summer months I don't, because I drive it way more. So I know that that's not going to be an issue. But in the winter months, yeah, this thing can sit up to a week easy. So I know a week doesn't sound that bad, but you got to take into account, you know, the cold too. So it can get down to minus 60 here at times, even though it's in the garage. But it can get easily probably minus 40 in the garage, if you know, even with everything locked up. So I keep that plugged in. But yeah, these are hardwired directly to the battery. I have two batteries, but these obviously they're tied together, so this will maintain both of them. It just obviously will take longer because it has to do two big batteries. It was the same way on the 15 too. You got two big massive batteries and they're tied together. But on the 1586, I didn't use this. I used the ones with the alligator clips, which I have one downstairs in the basement, and then actually I got one in the shop too. So I don't know if things can go as planned. Then like I said, I'll do this John Deere next month, and then maybe if nothing else goes fucking wrong, maybe we can try to get a couple parts for the 15. Can't guarantee it, but we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna get to work on it this year. But whatever. It's just gonna be whatever. And then I had a freaking heart attack coming home from the bank. Didn't see it in time, but I don't know. It must have fell out of somebody's pickup truck or trailer or something, or I don't fucking know. But I hit a piece of wood on the road. I was like, oh, hell no, because I know there's probably a fucking nail in that fucker. Well, when I hit it with the Blazer, I caught it with this tire. Tire completely destroyed the wood. So I pulled over, looked at the piece of wood. There was a nail in the piece of wood, but it was just the head. And it looked like it was broken, like it had already been broken. It actually looked like it was already kind of rusted, so it must have been broken for a while, but I didn't know if maybe the nail was in the tire or whatever. I was like, oh, this is what's going to cause my next problem, you know. No, I think we did dodge a bullet, because I'm going to check it again tomorrow, let it sit overnight, but I checked the tires when I got home. They were actually over PSI. I like them at 45. That's what the guy put them at when he put the new rims on for me. He put them to 45. I was like, well, you know, they're still got kind of a squat to them, but I think that's normal. That's a pretty heavy vehicle. So, but then when I checked the tires when I got home, they were actually at 48. So the PSI actually went up, but I think that was because the tires were hot from, you know, driving down the road, right? They just got hot. So then I checked it, because when we came home, we unloaded some stuff, ate, took a 15-minute break, whatever. And I came back out, the tires were cool. So I checked them again, and they were at their proper PSIs. You know, actually, I think these are at 40. I think one was at 46.5 and the other one was at 45.5. So they're slightly over, but I don't know. But I'll check them again tomorrow. They don't look like they're squatting now, so I don't think they got a nail in them, but I thought I was going to have a freaking heart attack, because you know what? I don't need another fucking problem. But I guess we dodged a bullet. But yeah, I was having a heart attack there, so I was like, well, if the nail's in the tire, it's going to have to stay in there. We're just going to have to go as fast as we can to get the fuck home. But I made it to the tire shop to get gas and to whatever else. And then I looked at it again, and I was like, well, it's not squatting. They're not squatting hard, so they're not leaking. I figured, well, because I figured even if it had a nail in it, it'd be kind of like a slow leak. So I figured, well, I'd probably, be able to limp it home. At a certain point, I think it's when you get below 30 psi, I think the sensors will go off, and I'll get a warning on the dash that, I have the so-and-so tire is below recommended psi, which I think is 30. So once they get below that, well, then it'll give you a heads up. But I never got the light, so I was like, well, it's either a slow leak or I don't have a leak at all. But oh God, what a freaking nightmare that ended up being. So, but I don't think it would have been squatting a lot harder than this now, because that was quite a few hours ago. And then I went to North Dakota, and I checked them again, before leaving. Not that I have any way putting air in them, because I don't have an air compressor in the Blazer. I've been meaning to get one. I really probably should do that. So in case I got to reinflate it, then I can limp it home. Of course, I could just throw the damn spare on it, but I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be doing that on the side of the fucking highway. So I'll just keep, pumping her up to 45 psi and limp her home. If it holds air long enough, then you could do that. But I don't know. It's a good way to have a heart attack, I guess. And I don't think I've hit a goddamn thing with this Blazer. Besides, I have hit, like 2 or 3 birds since I've owned the Blazer, which, whatever, it happens. I almost hit a rabbit today. I was like, oh shit, rabbit. Yeah, literally on the fucking interstate, going across the road. I was like, oh, you fucker. And I was like, there's a semi-truck behind me. Well, he's way back there, like half a mile. Oh, look, we got a friend. Where the hell? Right there. There's a friend. And, yeah, I locked up my brakes, and I didn't lock them up, but I definitely slowed down. But luckily, the rabbit was a little bit faster than me, I guess. So then he, hopped across the road real quick like. I was like, I don't need to murder a damn rabbit. It's like, come on. Ugh. If it wasn't a stick, then it was a rabbit. So, and it might be a deer next time. Next time I might not get so fucking lucky. So, but I don't know. It's crazy. So, it's just been a lot of headaches today. But, what do you want, dear? Dear? Things like, what are you doing? So, usually deers are not like that. That guy's a little tame. Or girl, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's one deer running around here that's pregnant. It's just getting kind of wide. But, whatever. So, I guess that deer is not too afraid of me then. It's not a bad thing, I guess, but I don't know. So, but yeah, man, it was just a hectic day. Usually days like this are not that hectic, but I don't know. You get them once in a while, I guess. But man, I figured, okay, well, one thing's gonna go right? I'm gonna get the tractor tire fixed. We'll get the A back up and running and be good, right? And then I hit that piece of wood coming home. Didn't see it I didn't even see it at all until I heard the big freaking crunch. I was like, oh great. And then I seen it when I did hit it finally. I seen it come flinging up. It was kind of flinging away though, so I knew it wasn't going to hit the window. But I saw it shooting up. Heard it crunch. Oh boy, if you guys are with me, that video would not be R-rated, it would be X-rated, because I was cussing every word you could think of. Because I'm thinking, man, I just cannot catch a break. So, but it looks like the tires did all right. So, because that's the last thing. I do plan on buying new tires for this Blazer, but I wasn't really going to be until next year. These tires aren't horrible. They are worn out. Like, they're getting close to the end of their life, but I just didn't want to do it yet. So, plus I want to find some online. Like, I want to find like some trucky, manly tires, you know, but yet that are still good for the road, because we're going to be doing a lot of roading. So I'm not going to go with off-road tires, obviously, because we're not going to be off-roading enough in this thing. So, but I want something that's kind of manly looking. And I think where I bought these rims from originally, I think they sold tires too, so I might go back there and see what they got for donuts. But I just didn't want to do it yet, you know. So I don't know, but yeah, I think tomorrow I'm gonna come out maybe around noon or something, walk the pasture one more time. And then if my uncle's done with the battery maintainer, we'll fire the bitch back up and hook her up to the harrow and start knocking down cow pies and see if we can break something else. But I don't know. Next year I kind of wouldn't mind replacing that other steer tire, you know, but that's kind of like a next year project. So, because that's literally bald. There's nothing left of them tires. And then the drive tires, yeah, that one definitely needs to be replaced, but they're like $200. But I guess one every couple of months or whatever, you know, you'll be down, you'll be done, you know. Those tires are way cheaper than the ones on the 15, obviously. Like those drive tires on the A, what the hell are they? They're like, what are they, 9.5 by 24s, I think. Very small tires. You can get bigger ones, obviously, but I don't want that. I want the smaller profile tire. So, and you can get them in BKT brand. So for a BKT in that size of tire, it's like $200. That's not including shipping. I don't know what there would be for shipping, but maybe another 50. But then let's just say $50 for shipping, you know. Yeah, $250 for a back drive tire is not that bad, you know. I could do that even, I guess, over the winter months if I really wanted to. And I think they'll even ship that, like, I don't know, FedEx or UPS or something. Well, they will for the 15A6's tire too. They'll ship it, I think, via FedEx or something. I don't know, but for the 15A6, you know, that's $1,700. So, but I might talk to the young guy when that time comes. I might talk to the young guy, see if he can talk to his tire guy and see what kind of a deal we can get there. Because even if I can get it for $100 less and just pay $1,600, I'll take it, you know. So, but that won't be until after we fix the hydraulic leak. So, but I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. So, but yeah, other than that, then I guess, guys, I'm going to take off. I guess I'm going to go home and see if I can break something. I'm really thinking about just giving myself a nickname of Break Boy, because I break everything and I'm a boy. So, yeah, because everything breaks and it takes time to fix it. So, but yeah, but at least the A is back in service. she'll be ready to go tomorrow, maybe, if I let my uncle do his thing with the battery, and then which may take a couple hours, or it may, take all night. But other than that, it'll be all right. I'm not in a hurry for it. So, but just glad to be done. I'm glad to have that done. I just want to use the freaking thing, knock some cow pies down, and be done with it. So, yeah, my uncle's got the cows. He went and got another bale today. He put the cows out in that little rental piece. He said like literally within 5 days they had it all chewed down. So, but yeah, I told him too, probably a good chance you're going to be selling quite a few of your cows, because we're not going to get the hay this year. I've set a number for 70 bales. I think is all we're going to get this year. If we get 100, great, but that's still not going to be enough. But it's better than 70. But it's just, that's my number, 70 bales for the year. And I told my uncle too, they're going to have to come down here, because we can't be feeding bales this early in the year and then expect to go all winter. Like, it's ridiculous. So I can hear an air seeder going. I bet you it's up there in Canada. I'm actually surprised people are still out seeding. I seen a freaking seeder out today. I was like, what are you doing, bud? It's a little late to be putting any kind of a crop in the ground. So it should have been out like 2 weeks ago when we had that freaking drought going on. So, but yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. Just want to let you guys know what was going on, whatever else. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.